Mother says he's dangerous, ancient hunger dressed in black, a conqueror with sharpened words and kingdoms trembling at his back. Lord Chancellor, winter eyes, too proud to ever bend. A tyrant draped in velvet rage, the sword no saint should defend. And yet, when candlelight catches silver in his hair, I still look, though I pretend not to. He thinks I'm spoiled, too soft, too reckless with my gold, calls me impossible as if he himself is easy to hold. And God, he argues like he enjoys it, almost smiles when I fight back, like every sharp word somehow keeps pulling us back. So why do I still search crowded rooms for the monster dressed in midnight blue? Why does my foolish heart grow loud when he walks in crowds? Bananaria, tell me true, why does ruin look beautiful when ruin looks like you? He mocks my prayers, my chapel light, calls holy men deceivers, says Rome built kingdoms out of fear and saints are only dreamers. I tell him he is unbearable, cruel, arrogant, too old. He tells me I gamble recklessly, and one day ruin will take hold. I hate him, at least I think I do. And why do I notice the way he watches doors before I enter? Why starving villages some height after he visits? Why his hands, though frightening, never shake? He frightens everyone, yet somehow I still walk closer just to argue, just to hear him sigh my name, like I'm exhausting but amusing. So why do I still search crowded halls for the tyrant standing far too tall? Does danger feel like hope with ease me? Ave Maria, forgive me, I think I may be praying for the wrong man. He stopped aging centuries ago, silver through dark hair, a face too handsome, too severe, too dangerous to stand. Still I stare, God help me, I stare. He looks at me like I am troublesome, then quietly waits looking back at me. He is unbearable, truly unbearable still. I hope he comes to counsel tomorrow. I'll be Tell me why I still look for him. Father says he's dangerous, ancient hunger dressed in black, a conqueror with sharpened words and kingdoms trembling at his back. Lord Chancellor, winter eyes, too proud to ever bend. A tyrant draped in velvet rage, the sword no saint should defend. And yet, when candlelight catches silver in his hair, I still look, though I pretend not to. He thinks I'm spoiled, too soft, too reckless with my gold, calls me impossible as if he himself is easy to hold. And God, he argues like he enjoys it, almost smiles when I fight back, like every sharp word somehow keeps pulling us back. So why do I still search crowded rooms for the monster dressed in midnight blue? Why does my foolish heart grow loud when he walks in crowds? Amenorrhea, tell me true, why does ruin look beautiful when ruin looks like you? He mocks my prayers, my chapel light, calls holy men deceivers, says Rome built kingdoms out of fear and saints are only dreamers. I tell him he is unbearable, cruel, arrogant, too old. He tells me I gamble recklessly, and one day ruin will take hold. I hate him, at least I think I do. And why do I notice the way he watches doors before I enter? Why starving villages some height after he visits? Why his hands, though frightening, never shake? He frightens everyone, yet somehow I still walk closer just to argue, just to hear him sign my name, like I'm exhausting but amusing. So why do I still search crowded halls for this lion standing far too tall? Does danger feel like home where he's me? Ave Maria, forgive me, I think I may be praying.
Yo, why is my keyboard sticky? I don't know.
Centuries ago.
Alright, I'm here.
silver through dark hair.
Welcome back,
Face
Bella
too
Bats. It's your.
handsome, too
Hold
severe,
on.
too dear.
Shush, shush. Welcome back, Bella Bats. It's your girl Bella Donna Horrors. And tonight we are doing analog horror. I need new headphones. We don't judge. I have a beer right here. I'll probably get another one later, but right now, this is look, guys, I have no makeup on tonight. No makeup on. I'm kind of barefacing it today. Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Let's make sure we're good to go. What, cat? You're fine. All right, we got a couple of things that we're gonna watch tonight. We'll do a smaller, not a smaller stream, but a shorter stream. We'll do a little shorter stream. Some analog horrors. I don't know if this is like a full analog horror, but I might grab it just in case.
Warning, some view.
Okay. It's called the Apache. The Apache. The patch. You know where the thing is I'm trying to say, right? The Apache. I don't know. Y'all should know what I'm trying to say. I expect you guys to know what I try to say, even though I don't know what I'm trying to say. But we haven't done a good analog horror series in a hot minute. So that's what we're going to do tonight. By series, I just mean we're just watching analog horror. Because I have no series right now, and then I got to figure out Bloody Mary stuff. And yeah, so I don't like this one as much, but we're going to sip it because I just opened it and it's fine. So yeah. Make sure the window capture is good. There we go. So the first thing we're gonna do, first thing I'm gonna do is fix this. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is it's called analog horror from a civilian perspective. So we're gonna see how that goes. Again, I don't like how I'm looking right now. I know I'm looking rough. Looking rough. I'll get over it. It's okay. But what's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody's week going? And are we having a... This way? Hold on. Yeah, I just gotta go this way. This was on backwards. Oops. That was upside down. Not the right side up. Alright, so we are streaming both on Twitch and the Tube of Yube. What's up, Santana? What's up? How y'all doing? I'm trying to get everything taken care of. By taken care of, I just mean started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started in here.
Smoke weed every day.
Yes! Yes, so we're going to be watching, this one's called the analog horror through a civilian's perspective. It's the first video we're getting into tonight, because why not? We're civilians. We wouldn't be the main characters. That would suck, actually. So yeah, I'm barefacing it today, guys. I don't got my makeup on. I didn't feel like putting it on. I only brushed my teeth like this morning. I really wish I rebrushed them, but I didn't. So y'all getting me just low down right now, okay? Y'all getting me low down. So if I feel like I'm self-conscious, it's because I am. So yeah. Alright, Faye-Faye's here. Got my tajin. Got this, and I'm gonna go get a different beer soon. So yeah. We're just chilling, chillaxing. And we're just gonna get into some analog horror. Faye with the gifty subby. You know what that means? Hang on. I gotta chug this for you. Or I can get one I like. Or I could put a lipstick on. No, I'm not doing that. Thank you, Bestie, for the gifty subby to the bearded technician, aka Santana. So now everybody gets the cute emotes. Booty shakes! So anyway. Yes. I love you, Bestie. I love you. I wasn't going to stream tonight, guys. I wasn't. I was not! And then she told me I had to. And I'm not mad at it. Let's fix this. Let's fix this real quick because I already know. Yes, Kazade. Let's make sure. See, I knew it. See, this is why I've got to fix everything because sometimes they don't want to. Sometimes they don't want to work. You know what I mean, jelly beans? You know what it be, my fools? Yes, we're gonna start off strong. We're gonna start off the stream strong, guys. We're gonna start the stream strong. All right, let's start it. So this is analog horror from a civilian perspective. I'm gonna make a biggie screen, and I'm gonna make myself a little lighter. Or off. Do we off? Do we want off? Do we want the lights off, guys? We want the lights off? Yes, no, maybe so.
Analog horror can be absolutely horrific, but a lot of the time it's fixed on a very specific perspective. Either, the government or an incredibly lucky or very skilled individual or group of individuals.
Yeah, that's my boy
But
Thatcher right
when
there.
we shift that perspective, and that little plot armor and protection disappears.
My favorite show? No. An intruder. No. I hate this. I hate this. Yay! I'm happy everyone's having it. Yes, exactly. What the hell is that? What on God green earth is that? Yes, Feifei over here dropping the gifty sub. What the hell is this? I'm already just freaking out at this. I'm not, it's cool.
Today we're going into what analog horror is like from the average civilian's perspective, and it's crazier than you might think. You wake up one morning just like any other, have breakfast,
Chapter 1, Greylock. Okay.
When you get there though,
Cool.
you are informed you will not be working at your typical construction site, rather your boss Morelli.
What? What have you been waiting to do for so long? Oh, testing a game right now? Nice. What game? What game are you guys testing out? Yes. Take over the chat, guys. I might as well just these emojis. Yes. I got you, bro. I got you. I need to get some new
You've
ones.
been hired by the billion-dollar tech company Semiodyne USA. This is basically
Let's go.
like
I know
coming to work
Semiodyne.
and
We
hearing you
covered
got
that. I gotta
hired
still
by,
edit that video.
Tesla or Amazon. And while it's on
Dope
a need-to-know
cheap
basis
dope.
and you aren't really told anything, you're just
On
an
a
average
Tuesday.
construction worker that needs to pay the bills, so who the fuck cares? You just go along with it. You, along with many of your
Yes.
coworkers, are transported to Mount Greylock. Odd location, but hey, at least you get to enjoy the scenery. The other workers joke about the company,
Wait.
about how they have...
Is Mount Greylock like a whole actual ass? Is that like a whole actual place? Or is that like fictional? Hold on. Oh my god, Mount Greylock is a whole ass real freaking place, y'all. I ain't even kidding. I'm not kidding. Look at this. It's a whole... Bro. That... No. I can't believe it's a real freaking place. I thought I mean, look, oh, that shit would scare me so quick. But it's so pretty. Yo, that's gorgeous though. That's terrifying, but it's gorgeous. Won't ever visit. Not on my to-do list. Nope. We are looking at Mount Greylock because we are going through analog horror from a civilian perspective, my love. And the first chapter is Greylock, and apparently Mount Greylock is a whole actual ass place. It's a whole ass place. It's a real place. Apparently, it's on the Appalachian Trail. Or whatever that's called. The Appalachians, I guess. That looks so pretty, but at the same time, I just, after watching Greylock, I'm like, oh no. This would scare me, but at the same time, I would love it. I would love and hate it at the same time. If they're not the actual ones, though. They're not the actual ones. It's someone just commenting on it. It's not the full
claws
scary
deep in the
scaries.
U.S. government and have been watching everyone through their tech, but it all seems like conspiracy to you. Not long after arriving on the site,
But I got
notice
you.
it is far from untouched land. There
Yeah.
are tunnel
See, it's just
systems,
like
massive ones going deep into the mountain, but they eventually lead to a cave-in, blocking you from looking any deeper. Perhaps you
get your babies
misunderstood
fed.
what you were hired to do, but either way, you should probably report this to Paul. He seems confused and leaves to make a phone call.
He told me to call if anything strange came up, and I figured this qualifies. People have been here before.
I remember this one too. I remember this
Obviously
one.
handmade shit in there, like carvings and stone. This shit looks ancient, like real old. I took a crew in to look through it, but it seems part of the tunnels caved in some time ago.
Most of your
All
coworkers
right.
are talking about
Love
how
you,
they have a really
bestie.
bad
I need to
feeling,
switch up my
almost like
profile pic.
something is out here watching them. Everyone sets up camp and clocks out for the night, and the next morning half of your coworkers can't move, they're so sick. But he can't get anyone to answer his calls. You are then one of the people sent to explore the tunnel, and to your shock, it has already been cleared and lights set up, and it's only been about a day. You figured they brought in some professionals overnight that prepped the job for you, but regardless, this feels wrong. You feel it too now. The dread. And to make it worse, it seems like you keep seeing something out of the corner of your eyes that you can't quite make out. Something big. In the next few hours, one of your work friends, Arnold Rivers, comes down into the mountain with you.
And he goes, that's a whole note.
And you see even his face drop when you reach the first room. You don't really have an idea what you're looking at, but even you can recognize the pile of skeletons. Not to mention Arnold is basically having a mental breakdown over there, and you get that same feeling, you know, the one that you did back in high school when even the smart kid was struggling with the test. Regardless, he quit that same day, and you're debating doing...
Imagine, like, yeah, no, I know that feeling. I wasn't the smart kid in school, but still, though, that was always scary.
The same. The next day, your boss looks rough, acts different, paranoid, and to your horror, you also woke up feeling like shit, and you can barely work anymore, but that doesn't really matter at this point, as Morelli officially made the announcement that no one is to go back into the mountain until he gets an official response from those Semiodyne motherfuckers. The thing in the woods isn't even speculation at this point. You see it in your dreams. Everyone has reported noticing it. Some of your coworkers can't even speak anymore, but you can tell they are petrified by the look on their faces. Morelli is the only one who isn't really bedbound, but you're lucky enough to still be able to walk. You miss your family. How long has it been since you've seen their faces? Service is surprisingly good out here, but still no one answers. Some people are claiming that they've even tried the police and they aren't picking up. The food supply has rotted overnight.
No, at that point, I'm like, we're leaving. Our food supply rotted. I'm out. Screw this.
Despite no errors with the power and refrigeration, it's hard not to give up hope, and all you can do is rest.
Well, a lot of the crew here is sick now, and they're sort of like unresponsive. We try to reach the contacts for them, but they just keep ringing. The phones, they just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. Nobody picked up from any number we tried. Nobody picked up. No answer machines either. We had to call the hospital, and same thing. Just ringing. Just tried 911, still nothing.
The next morning, you wake up in hell. You can no longer walk, barely even turn your head. Your ears are ringing and your skin feels tight, like your bones don't fit in your body. But even you seem like the lucky one compared to the others. The rest of the crew, they aren't even them anymore. They are deformed, gruesome, and most of them aren't even waking up. They look like corpses that have been rotting for weeks, yet you've only been out here 5 days. Your boss is losing his mind, laughing.
It only took 5 days for this to happen?
Talking to himself. Morelli notices you
as Blaster,
and he tells you he is going into the mountain and that he will fix it.
What up, my guy?
He leaves for hours. Darkness falls, and he never comes back. You see the creature from the woods show itself in the...
We're doing, oh, thank you. I know. Preach. No, we're watching, if we'd be able to survive the analog horror world as civilians. We would not. We don't got the plot armor. We would not. Even those that have the plot armor are getting messed up.
Middle of the campground. An insanely tall entity with a cracked white mask. It makes sounds that sound identical to humans. To police officers
I hate that
and
thing.
even to Morelli. You can't even scream. To your horror, your dead crewmates miraculously stand back up, and that's the last thing you see before you lose consciousness. Now, it's safe to assume you wouldn't be human for the next part, but it's worth mentioning that you would mutate into some body horror abomination like the others and run into the nearby town, breaking into people's houses until you're eventually taken into the Semiodyne lab facility where they run tests on what's left
Oh wait,
of
he's
you,
playing a game.
then
He's playing a
eventually
game.
euthanize whatever you had become, along with all of your coworkers. Your family
That
was
would be
lied to,
horrible.
told you died in some freak construction accident due to your own negligence. Hell, even the lab assistants glaze over you in the report. You never should have taken this job, but how could you have known? Vita Carnis is up next, but for this section, I'm actually going to be
I love
going
me
over
some
two
Vita
different types
Carnis.
of people. The average civilian that sees the threat coming, but doesn't really take it seriously until it's too late, and then the citizen that immediately begins preparing for it, and by the time it gets really bad, has already built up a decent amount of supplies and knowledge. Start with the first one. You would likely hear about the Carnis years before encountering one. A brief news segment, a YouTube video, or maybe even a documentary. Most people would ignore this or think about it for maybe a week and then forget about it. So you would essentially just go on with your life. Until eventually you're on vacation somewhere and you can't help but notice the crawl growing up the sides of buildings. And months later, it's already in your hometown. You begin to hear things rummaging around in your garbages at night. These creepy little meat raccoons.
Oh, give
And
me
to throw
him!
you off even more, what you found disgusting at first quickly becomes a social media trend filled with
First off, I would totally take one of those little guys. I would totally take one of them and I'd be like, you're my baby, I love you. I'd spoil it. Literally, I'd spoil that little. I think it's called a tremor or something like that. I'd spoil him.
cute
mine.
trimming videos and
Yeah, trimming.
other pet
The trimmings.
tutorials the same way you
It'd be
would
mine.
see maybe cats or dogs. Eventually, this becomes commonplace, just like any other trend. And the Carnis
Hey,
doesn't seem
cats.
too crazy until news starts breaking of deaths related to Carnis encounters. People gored and eaten in their own homes, families being ripped apart in campsites, people losing loved ones into the woods, and being found dead in front of statue-like meat humanoids. This is the point that the average person would likely begin to get scared, and COVID-level panic would begin as the news of the risk becomes widespread.
COVID level,
But how the
probably
hell are you
worse.
just supposed to suddenly adjust to being kicked off the top of the food chain? The unprepared individual would just hope nothing goes wrong until they run into a mimic on a late night walk or step on a harvester while camping. Not to mention
be
the large
pissed.
amount of the orange powder clouding cities and brainwashing millions. But hey, the upside is there's this new product, the flavor enhancer, that you're coming to really enjoy. It almost feels like you can never get enough of it, and it just becomes something you throw on every meal like salt, completely unaware that it is made from the exact same dust that you're seeing in the air and slowly turning your brain to mush. Basically,
That'd be
in the Vita Carnis
horrible.
universe, you
Yes,
don't prepare, you're
girl. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are just watching if we would survive the analog horror world as civilians. What game were you testing? What game were you testing? What was the game, mija? Mi amor.
But what would it look like if you were prepared starting at the first broadcast?
Yeah,
Well,
because I'd be
let's look.
prepared,
If you
hopefully.
research the Carnis extensively, you would likely find data in the introduction documentary, letting you know the main threats are the mimic, harvester, and the host. You would then likely stock ammo and a solid weapon that can deal with mimic invasions, along with alarms and motion detectors. Harvesters are as simple as
I just wasn't expecting my mom. And the worst part, it was on the mimics. Oh, no. Well. Alright. Yeah. I was not expecting that, Mom. The worst part is we were on the mimics. It was like literally I looked over, right? And it was like showing this freaking picture. This creepy ass mimic picture. Can I get it?
deal with mimic invasion.
And then all of a sudden I just see my mom like pull up. I'm like, oh no. Scared the shit out of me. Who I had to look at. First,
That
let's
can
see.
deal with mimic invasion.
This guy right here. That's what was on the screen, and then I see you look pull up. Oh my fuck! Oh, that was scary.
Along with alarms, and motion detectors. Harvesters are as simple as
Oh, I'm
minimizing
excited
hiking
to
around
see it.
forested areas, and hosts would just require masks when going in public. And years later, when everything would go bad, same as I talked about in the first scenario, this person would likely be a lot more prepared, as a lot of humanity would just be the other type and would be dying en masse. But this individual would likely not see much of a difference, just working from home or being careful when alone when they do go out. The Mandela Catalog would likely see the worst experience from a civilian perspective yet, and we get very close to seeing almost what it would be like in a lot of the fan games and even a little bit in the canon series. But since the alternates have been
There's
around
fan
since
games
the
of the
beginning,
Mandela
back in
Catalog?
biblical times, they would likely always have been part of everyday life in the background, but it's assumed they would become more widespread following the events in Mandela County. And I feel like Caesar, who was really just a minor character in Volume 1 and ended up being a casualty pretty early on, would provide a very good personal insight of a civilian perspective. As Caesar, you would likely be experiencing a normal day in assumably high school. Your town might not be high crime, but suicides are some of the highest in the nation. But this never made sense to you, as you rarely ever see or hear about people who seem unhappy, and everyone seems to be doing fine. Throughout your life, though, random teachers, classmates, and even officers just disappear, only to be discovered on the news to have taken their own lives. But sometimes, on rare occasions, you swear you see these exact same people that you would see on the news in crowds around you or in random locations as you walk by, almost as if they never died at all. You really have little to no idea what the hell an alternate even is at this point, as sightings are kept classified in order to prevent panic, other than like rare training tapes that only certain individuals are allowed to view, and maybe a single warning like 20 years prior. But this would be before your time, so you likely would not know about any of this. One night you arrive home a bit later than usual. Your mom isn't home yet, but you're sure she will be soon. Despite this, it becomes obvious there is something in your home. An animal, perhaps?
Yeah, something in my home. I'm leaving.
You attempt to call the police, only for them to simply tell you that help is on the way and ask you questions. Eventually, you see it, an inhuman entity standing in the corner of your room. It had been watching you this whole time. You begin
That's
to
gonna be a
scream
whole
for
note
help
from
and
me.
wonder why they are not here yet, right as you hear the phone hang up from the other side, and the realization hits that you were never getting help. The creature in front of you begins to mold and change until, to your horror, it looks identical to you. All the screens in your house light up, displaying a man smiling at you. What he says next can't be true. He's wrong. This isn't real. It quickly becomes too much and you take your own life, all while this creature continues just to smile at you with your face, then picking up the phone to make a phone call to Mark Heathcliff.
You know what? If you at least gonna take my face, can you at least make sure you take the makeup too with it? You know, make it nice.
Event actually would go on to mark the beginning of the alternates hitting their peak. An average civilian could expect to see them as often as you would fall victim to any crime. The only difference being that the death rate would be much higher. Everyone knew about them. Even posters would be put up to warn people of known alternates. It would be common for someone working the night shift to casually see one walking around in the street outside or receive
Nope,
weird
I ain't
calls.
working no
Urban
night shift then.
explorers would likely see them all over abandoned houses and on screens of TVs that should have been unplugged a long time ago. I'm not gonna lie, I'm always super intimidated whenever I decide to go over Monument Mythos in one of these videos, just based off how vast the whole thing is and how many perspectives there.
Sorry, I'm gonna turn the subtitles on.
As well as, you know, a lot of the point of the video is to make sure that civilians don't figure out about this whole thing, but I think
it's because they don't want us to be scared.
Perspective that would work really well here. Regardless though, Alcatraz replaces everyone without them even knowing. The serpent.
This one I haven't seen yet. We have not seen Monument Mythos yet. We have not watched that one yet. I want to get into that one.
Would even probably be
I kind of don't want to watch this because I do not want to be spoiled. So, and I don't know about the man in the suit yet. So I don't want to be spoiled. So we're not going to watch those yet. And then this one looks interesting, but I want to do Your Life in an Analog Horde. This is 18 minutes. So we got Gemini. Okay, intro credit. Okay, also go check out Vita Carnes and then Gemini Entertainment, which we haven't fully watched all of Gemini Entertainment. We totally can, but not gonna lie, it was kind of boring. To me, it was. It was kind of boring for me. And then we got the Deadliest Analog Entities. This one's the 24 minutes. So we'll start with this one first. We'll see Our Life in the Analog Horror. Oh, it's by the Mr. Mirage guy.
It's a password guarantee. Warning, there's a criminal on the run, but witnesses who lived have said that he is not a normal human being. He runs around at an unusual speed. He is not seen normally by all.
Wait, is this Gemini? We might watch Gemini tonight. Ah!
I've always wondered what it would be like to live in one of the analog horror universes, but I decided it would be way more interesting if rather we
How long has it been? How long has it been since I've watched an analog horror? I don't remember I don't remember screaming at them.
looked into 3 of them and the horrific nightmare that would follow. And I think it would go something like this. Instead of an alarm clock, you wake up to the sound of a TV alert blaring.
Apparently.
Again, and to be honest, at this point, there wouldn't even need to set one due to all the disappearances going on and all the warnings going out to whoever's left. It seems this time there are reports of a hooded killer breaking into people's homes, ending their lives, and stealing their bodies for unknown reasons. Police would likely be trying to investigate this in order to figure out what's been causing it, but the volume would be far too big due to simply the amount of entities there would be. There would also likely be many reports of houses found with giant holes just sitting in the floor, completely abandoned and infested with a root-like substance, almost as if something or someone burrowed up through the floor.
Ah! Fuck me. Oh man. Oh. Do you know how long it's been since I've watched analog horror? And this is just me watching it from someone else's trying to explanation. Oh. Barbara Manatee, Manatee, Manatee. One for me, one for me, one for me. Oh, my pudding and pie. My bestie's over here playing with her. She's making paintbrushes on her thing while I'm over here getting scared. I said tonight was gonna be a relaxing night. I'm over here having like literal actual scream attacks. I can't believe it. Alright, let's go. I know, apparently not.
Now that doesn't already sound chaotic enough. I'm going to be going over
Enough for our entertainment, damn it.
From Gemini Home Entertainment, Vita Carnus, and Basswood County. It's safe to say this universe.
Okay, so it's called Basswood County. Okay, so we might have to watch Basswood.
Everything from space and nature, the suburbs, and especially urban areas are at risk of being entered and terrorized by these creatures. This is going to be a fun episode, so let's get into your life and tour. By the way, if you enjoy my content, the best thing you can do for me is watching until the end. It means a lot and it helps more people see my content. Oh, and as common with these videos, make sure to keep an eye on the little number in the top right, as that's going to be our survival percentage, and it's going to change as the video goes on, going up and down as we figure out both challenges and do's and don'ts to avoid them. Now to start, I want to go over a sort of morning routine that I came up with, but before that, I have to explain what really quick, for people who are unfamiliar with one or all of these series. Gemini Home Entertainment to start begins with an unfamiliar planet referred to as the Iris entering our solar system. It is theorized to be a living entity consisting of gigantic root-like compounds that grow everywhere and mutate everything that they touch, including asteroids and even entire planets. And it seems like its next goal is Earth. On the other hand, Basswood County mostly consists of unknown beings that enter human.
I love that we're getting a little bit of the mouthwash gameplay.
To take over their entire bodies and wear their skin, using it as a method to trick and lure other humans close enough to be stolen and brought back to their odd facility. And last,
joke's on them, I don't trust other people.
Last but not least, Vita Carnus is a series that consists of meat organisms that slowly grow here on Earth, some being completely harmless, others being questionable, and some specifically designed
how you gonna say
predators.
How you gonna call my trimming questionable? They're so cute. How you gonna call my trimmings questionable? That's messed up.
Every single regard and purely thrive on hunting humans. To summarize, each of these series has their own apex predator that is overpowered in their own way, but they all share the goal of making sure we don't exist anymore. These will be our main mobile threats but there's also plenty of stationary threats that rather will wait for you to step close enough to them. And to me, these are also equally as dangerous. And
They
similar to
are
other
actually
things,
probably a
these
little
series
bit
also
more
possess
dangerous because I feel like you love to go out and you like to like go explore nature and stuff like that. And if it's stationary, it doesn't probably more dangerous because like you're not expecting it. Like you can prepare for a freaking mimic attack. You can't prepare for a freaking harvester attack.
rare and titanic-sized beings. And if you're wondering how humanity as a whole is even still alive at this point, the
We
answer
don't know.
might not be as good as you're hoping. Rather, the governments have been in league with these things, making human sacrifices in order to keep them off our backs, at least for now. The Carnis or
I
Carnivores,
mean-
for example, formed a type of cult, and the Iris seems to send odd humanoid representatives, referred to as the well-dressed men, down to make odd deals with us, and then punishing us if we refuse to listen or screw them over in any way. In this specific example, the Carnis would likely be the dominant entity in the urban areas, as mimics prefer crowded locations with lots of people. Meanwhile, wood crawlers and what I'm just going to be calling the humanoids would likely be more common in suburban and rural areas. So you can take
Damn.
your pick on what monstrosity you'd be waking up to. But regardless, nowhere is completely safe, especially because wood crawlers are insanely good at burrowing and can break through solid metal, to the point where waking up in the morning would be half the time to something breaking into your house. Believe me, I wish I was kidding, because most of these entities don't give a damn about subtlety, as a lot of these entities will simply just break into your house and attempt to end you. So the first
Fine, at this, you know what? Then I'll take the mimics. I'll take Vita Carnis at this point. I will take a Vita Carnis. Okay? Urban areas, fine. Less likely to really get caught, but still getting caught.
thing you'd want to do is immediately run and go find some sort of weapon, or if you prefer, simply just sprint for your life. But if you are going to go with the former, I suggest a flamethrower, as it seems to serve as a sort of kill-off these things. If you do manage to survive this, your routine would be nowhere near over, as you would need to immediately go to the bathroom
mentioned.
as soon as possible and inspect yourself in the mirror for bulbs and other root growth. As in Gemini Home Entertainment, there's so much worse things that can happen to you than simply being stalked in your sleep. Rather, you can actually be infected by a deadly and horrendous pathogen in your sleep, referred to as deep root disease or DRD. DRD, if not immediately noticed and removed, attaches and burrows into your skin until it reaches your skeletal system. It will then rapidly mutate your body until you're nothing more than a mess of roots. So if you see any signs of this, you're going to need to surgically remove it as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're not going to like what your life consists of. Unfortunately, it is likely that while distracted inspecting yourself in the mirror, a mimic that had been hiding in your furniture before would see this as an opportunity, would come out, sneak up behind you, and tear you to shreds.
I'll take the mimic. I'll take that mimic. I'll take that mimic sneaking up on me any time of the week, okay? At least I end. At least I'm ended.
It's obvious that since we're only like 5 minutes into the video, this isn't going to do. We need to figure out a different way, because I'm going to be real here, with all three of these series put together, you probably wouldn't last a week in a mild climate, especially ones with very high populations. So alternatively, the only realistic way I can actually make this video is if you do look into buying a home somewhere with less of these creatures around. In my How to Logically Survive videos, I saw a few comments mentioning desert and snowy environments being hypothetically extremely effective at keeping the amount of entities at a manageable amount. Here, the survival rate would still be low, but at the very least, less people means less mimics, as it is their main food source, along with less humanoids, as with no one to take over, they have no skin to wear, and less means to lure other humans, so I would assume they wouldn't waste their time here. Those entities in particular would likely be too busy swarming cities and other population centers. But these barren, harsh climates would see a significant decrease. At least, we can only hope so. So in order to have any sort of life to begin with, you're likely going to have to move to Alaska or northern Canada.
God damn.
Or at least, that's the case for Americans, as
Alaska? Well then shit, then I'm gonna deal with human serial killers and polar. I'll take them.
For any other country, heading north is probably a safe bet. But regardless of this, don't think for a second that you are safe. As technically the Carnis do still exist in colder regions, there's just less of them. As do wood crawlers, which is confirmed in the first video where we see them moving across snow with almost no sound. So after checking inside all of your furniture, killing or avoiding the entity that you woke up to, and then thoroughly checking for deep root disease, I think you can finally enjoy a nice breakfast and head out for your day. Can y'all tell?
I want to get a little PNG for my channel.
Is gonna be now going out in any form in this universe.
I want to do this. I want to do like both.
As the people you're going to encounter are either going to be irritated and traumatized from having to flee their homes and go live in the Arctic randomly, or they're going to be one of the humanoids who are trying to lure you just close enough to make you their next target. It seems the humanoids from Basswood County are intelligent and able to take down targets without much difficulty. In case you don't remember or you haven't seen it to begin with, they seem to manifest into sort of core that grows inside human skin and allows them to sort of resemble a kind of person, except they have roots growing out of their back and abnormally long limbs. Basically, picture alternates, but instead of making you end your own life, they come right to the chase and do it themselves. So when
I'll take the alternate. I'll take the alternate every day.
Going out anywhere, be it school or work or shopping of any kind, make sure you don't trust anyone no matter what. Unless you without a doubt know that it's still your friend that you were talking to and not something else, and your actual friend has been gone for a long time now. Similar to my other video, staying in groups of people, even if it's just 3 or 4, could also help you out because mimics don't seem to like confronting groups. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why don't we just call the police? But according to the circumstances, I don't even think you can trust people like cops or doctors at this point.
No.
As they are either under orders to look for sacrifices for the iris, or they are fake imitations that have been taken over by the humanoids. So do try your best to stay to yourself, being as quick and observing as possible, and hopefully schools would have precautions such as entry checkpoints similar to airport securities to check if people are infected with deep root disease, as well as making sure they have nothing living inside of them, as to not spread it, as well as making sure they're actually themselves and they're not just an entity wearing someone else's skin. But regardless, it's safe to say if you see someone losing their shit on the floor in the halls, it's likely not because they're crashing out over homework or finals or something. And
we're gonna take a quick break. Obviously, we're taking the break. So how's everybody doing? We're currently on a break. We gotta watch that Basswood one though. I didn't realize it was gonna be that scary. I'm excited. I can't believe I screamed, y'all. I can't believe I screamed. Not for our entertainment. Y'all brutal for that, As Blaster. Bestie! Bestie! Bestie, I need you, girls. I do have an analog horror though. I do have one. You wanna know what? I screamed. You didn't hear me scream. I was crying. My mom scared me. On accident, but still. I done got scared. I wasn't expecting her to like be bending down to pick up a toy. And while as she was like no, she didn't mean to. She didn't mean to scare me. She was picking up a toy. But as she was getting up, we had a picture of like the elder mimic on the screen from Vita Carnis. You know, that monstrosity. So I'm looking at that, I look over, I just see something move up in the dark. And then I screamed, I was like, and then I got jump scared a few more times. It was funny. No one clipped it. I don't know if you can go backwards in my stream. I don't know how to do that. I know, right? Talk about crap. Bro. Okay, so we're gonna watch a few other analog horrors. He's giving me, I was just saying also I want to make my character again for PNG like this so I could do both things. Like have like my person, like me right here. And then also like this person. No, that's I mean, oh wait, can we clip through YouTube? YouTube clips? Because I know we can go backwards. Here, let me show you on the YouTube. I can show you on the YouTube. YouTube clip. Here. Okay, let's see if this is it.
slowly turning your brain to mush. Basically,
That'd be
maybe the
horrible.
chance to
Yes,
break. You don't prepare
girl. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are just watching if we would survive the analog horror world as civilians. Okay, so then.
You would likely find data in the introduction.
Sorry, I'm
letting you know
skipping
the main threats are the mimic, harvester.
I know, right? It's like what YouTube could do
Let's
it.
say stock ammo and
Hold on, let me make a big screen. Let me make a big screen for us. Yeah, Brilliant's back up in here. Let's make a big screen real quick.
solid weapon that can deal with mimic invasions along with alarms and motion detectors. Harvesters
That was it, bro. I didn't even mean because I was like, I thought I saw something, right? And I was like, but it's dark. It's dark over here. And so I'm over here watching the mimics. I'm watching the mimics, right? Like, see, look at this. Look, this is what the chingones no mames way. Like right here, right, bro? This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. And then I see something in the corner of my eye, and then I don't see anything because it's dark.
along with
And then
alarms and motion detectors. Harvesters are simple.
I just wasn't expecting my mom. And the worst part, it was on the mimics. I showed her what I was looking at. I was showing her what I was looking at. She goes, "Oh hell no, that's scary." I was like, "Oh really? Really now?" Like, bro, that was rough. And then this fucker right here, I don't even know how this scared me. I haven't. Okay, so how long has it been since we watched analog horror? Because apparently I'm getting jump scared like nobody's business. You're welcome, Bessie. You're welcome. It was so, cause like you see me looking, right? You see me just looking to see, and I'm just like, I can't see anything. This is Mr. Mirage. We're watching his Your Life in Analog Horror. He does it two ways. He does the PNG version, which I do want to start doing. I want to start doing this, and then he does like himself recorded. So I want to do both.
And rather because
I'm taking
insanity
inspiration.
inflicted by the humanoid is starting to take effect, or the roots have reached their skeletal structure. Either way, it's probably smart to get out of there and take
So I
action
wanna do
as soon
both.
as possible. Alternatively, when it comes to the workplace, again, hoping there's security, I can't imagine.
Right? I
customer
wanna do
service
that.
to
I
be
wanna
an easy
so do that.
task. Oh, hello, sir. How may I help you today?
I mean, technically, I have my. You know what? Technically, I do got my girls. I do got my I got my V2 models. I could probably do that. Do a little bit of both. What do we think? V2 model and myself? Yes, yes, maybe. Yes. The hell is that? I gotta watch this one. We gotta watch this one.
Yeah, they definitely don't pay me enough for this shit.
They don't pay me enough for this shit.
Yeah, that's my signal to go on leave. Now,
Wait, should I show the girls? Cats. Yessie, do you guys want to see the? You want to see my my V2 model? All right, I'll show him. Hold on. I'll show him. She won't be able to move because I'm on my camera. I'm excited to see your edit, yo. I'm excited to see your edit. Cause she said it's super creepy. So I'm over here like, let's go super creepy. Yes. Okay, here, let me get her up on the screen real quick. Gotta make sure. I don't even know where she's at right now, so I think that's this. Let's go to just chatting real quick. I think I have her on the just chatting. You're greedy. What do you mean you're greedy? Oh, there's my girl. This is her. She can't move right now because I have the camera on me. And I don't know how to fix that, so. But hold on, let's see. Maybe if I, let me see. Maybe if I. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it for my camera. I know it's so me. Like. We got jiggles. We got jiggles for days. I know she's just asleep right now because I So you know what, I may do two of them. There we go. Just go right there, pretty girl. Right there. Right here. Right here. Cause let's see. Whee! So you got the cute little boots. I got a cute little outfit. I'd wear this too, bro. You should get one. I think this one was $150 for the model, but you get to customize her. And I have another one too. I have another one, so let's see. I customized too, so I think it's F1. There. I got this one too. This is my writing one. This is the one I use for writing. So yes, I did used to do VTubing. I know, I love them. And yeah, you just kind of make them, and this one has more boob jiggles. I like this one a little bit more. Boob jiggles, 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 boob jiggles. Sorry, sorry, I'm having a little fun. Sorry, but yeah, that's fun. I'll figure it out where they're gonna go. Jiggle, 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 jiggle like this. But yeah, when I don't when I don't feel like actually, like, usually if I'm like looking like this, I used to always put my V2 model on. But I always thought that I didn't get a lot of I thought people didn't care for it as much. I'll be completely honest. I didn't think people cared for it. I think people cared more for my reactions in real time more than they cared about my V2 model. So I was like, oh. Which, I mean, it's accurate. My V2 model doesn't have the same amount of expressions that I do. But oh yes. But yeah, that's my V2 model. She's so pretty. We love her. We stan her. Like, if I just felt like not doing anything all day, I would have definitely used my V2 model back in the day. But I think I might incorporate her, not in the stream, but like in the recording videos where I just use her to record some sections of stuff. Oh, I might try that with the Bloody Mary.
Now, before I go to the vacation section of this video, I want to go over transportation since I've been talking about running away from these things a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Universe where I strictly recommended against cars due to how many things can block your path and still take you out. When it comes to at least Gemini Home Entertainment, wood crawlers use heat vision to see you, so if you're inside of something that's blocked by metal and glass, along with being elevated off the ground, it'll be a lot harder for them to detect you, making you nearly invisible to them. So if you're really paranoid and live in a more wood crawler prone neighborhood, perhaps consider living out of a van or a large truck if you really want to improve your safety odds while maintaining safe transportation. But if that's the case, it's probably smart you do consider heavily tinted windows to make sure the carnists or humanoids can't see and track you inside your vehicles, because God knows they're sure as hell gonna try. As for public transport,
why be a carnist?
For the whole mimicking people thing that, by the way, the carnists and wood crawlers can also sort of do as well. Hell, if
I hate it.
Really specific, I just remember that in Gemini Home Entertainment, there are literally things called fake people that can mimic humans' entire shape and structure. The only thing being obviously different is the way they move and the way they speak. So
I do remember the fake people of Gemini. I do remember that. I think we got that far. I do remember getting that far into the Gemini Home Entertainment is the fake people.
Honestly, taking public transit would only be for people who want some more risk in their lives. But if you really want to be built different, you can try your luck walking or more realistically sprinting your way home. But since majority of people are probably going to prefer the car approach, make sure you don't run out of gas. I heavily suggest filling jerry cans and refueling in a location that is more guaranteed to be safe, rather than having to randomly run out and go to a gas station or, God forbid, be straight in the middle of nowhere late at night. I forgot to mention you should probably also be checking your car seats and trunk on a frequent basis too.
Oh yeah, huh? Because yeah, mimics like to be up in your shit. Mimics like to be up in your shit. Okay, by what I mean by that, I mean they will hide in your furniture. Okay, they'll hide. And then come out for the attack, yo.
All percentages down to the mid to low 50s, but we are still technically over the alternative, so I guess that's a win. By this point, you can probably assume that there are plenty of places that you can accidentally end up on vacation that would be considered dangerous and high population centers.
I'm just never going on a vacation, really. I'm just never doing it. I just won't do it. I will either be home or I go over to my bestie's house, and that is it. That is all. And even then, I may not even travel there. And I will not blame her for not traveling with me either. Because ain't no way I could be doing... I'm like, no. No, we die. I want to go to Disneyland. And you know what? I want to live in a world where there's not a fucking mimic after me every fucking 3 seconds. Eh? That's what I want.
And will lead to your immediate death. But to make this video more interesting, I'm going to go ahead and run right into the fire and suggest we go camping in the middle of the forest for our vacation.
Why? Why do we gotta go camping?
To venture out here, as well as mimics, because they both thrive on large amounts of bodies, and they wouldn't bother coming out here. However, that doesn't mean that you're now scot-free. Otherwise, I would have just said go live in the forest from the beginning. Wood crawlers, as evident by their names, thrive in forest environments, especially summer camps like Moonlight Acres. And if you didn't need
And
any
then
more proof of
you
this,
sure
many
you,
tele-
and I will sure as shit never send my kids out to summer camp. I mean, I still won't do it now, but if I was living in this type of world, I sure ain't doing it no matter what. And yes, I will make sure to teach them fear. And I don't like sometimes that I look up and I think I'm seeing something looking at me. I don't like that. Anna Maria, I need you to defend me, girl. Okay? I love you.
television programs
No,
in this universe
you didn't
actually promote
respond.
children into venturing off into the middle of the woods at night and screaming in order to quote-unquote feed the forest, aka sacrificing them to wood crawlers. So you're going to want to avoid attracting these at all costs. Other than that, the main threats out here would be nature's mockers, so screaming in this universe act camps like Moonlight Acres. And if you didn't need any more proof of this, many television programs in this universe actually promote children into venturing off into the middle of the woods at night and screaming in order to quote-unquote feed the forest, aka sacrificing them to wood crawlers. So you're going to want to avoid attracting these at all costs. Other than that, the main threats out here would be nature's mockery.
You gonna try to tell my kid to venture out into a forest? You gonna try to tell my kid to venture out into a... Anna Marie gonna come after y'all bitches. Ain't that right, girl?
And harvesters. Basically, you're going to want to watch
I love
where
it.
you step.
I love that I
Painting a
talked to
picture
Anna
of how
Maria.
bad getting caught would be. I think I'd rather step on an actual claymore mine and lose both my legs than on the spines of a harvester. Oh, and quick side note, if you do see or especially hear any people out here, you're going to want to try and drown that out as much as possible. Fires are also going to be a definite no, as if the light doesn't attract the wood crawlers, the heat sure as hell will. However, if you do want to look into how to increase the quality of your vacation, do dig a trench that you can both sit in during the day and sleep in at night. If possible, cover up the top with branches too, so there is only one small entrance, making it very hard for them to see your heat emanating as you are underground. And don't, under any circumstances, travel around at night, because if you do start thinking you could run right into a... Oh, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, whatever you do, don't. Okay, I literally just said don't run. Now you're really screwed.
Well, you didn't say that.
I'm
You didn't
assuming
say that.
some
You
of
just
them
said
must have
don't,
followed
and then
you
then we
from
ran.
as they tend to stalk people for days until they find you alone and vulnerable. Personally, in my opinion, there's no use in running from mimics, as if they really wanted to catch you, they could. And all running really does in a situation like this is get you insanely lost in the dark and risk you running into...
Yeah, then not to mention it also attracts like their predator instinct, you know. And that's why they say just don't run. Don't run. You stand your ground if you have to. The only time like you really don't want to fully do that is like with apes and stuff.
One of the creatures I talked about earlier. The best thing in this scenario would be looking for some sort of shelter, mainly an abandoned house or cabin. And while technically it's not the safest option, it's better than sitting outside where wood crawlers could easily tear you to shreds. So unless you have enough time to dig yourself another trench, I suggest looking for another shelter. And you don't have to worry about there being other people inside. I'm almost guaranteed that anyone who is living out here is definitely gone by now. Once you get inside, you want to take the time to think about where you parked your car, as in reality you're probably not going to last the entire night out here. So your goal is to get to your car as soon as possible. The only problem is that you need to find a way to navigate from wherever you are now through the dark to your car and drive off without making enough noise to attract something unfavorable, especially because these things can literally sink your car into the ground and take whatever is inside with ease. Well, to start off, use non-heat emanating light sources, mainly chemical ones like glow sticks for an example, which if you have the right type, can last up to 12 hours, and they don't get off enough heat to attract wood crawlers. Sure, they'll still be able to see your body heat, but you won't be putting out a giant beacon to everything within a 2-mile radius by going all medieval with a torch or something. Secondly, don't run unless absolutely necessary. You're going to need time to look in every direction for harvester bulbs jetting out of the ground, as harvesters are majority hidden, so you won't be able to see them until it's way too late and they're already injecting toxins into you, which at that point it's an immediate 0% chance that you survive. Also, you're going to want to keep an eye out for the little roots, as if you run into them, you'll become trapped as they slowly melt you down and infect you with deep root disease. So you might as well be walking through a minefield, which is why you should definitely take it really slow and coordinated. But if you're lucky, you'll either A, make it back to your car, B, survive somewhere until daytime, or C, at least when you die, it's quick, and you won't spend your entire life being tortured by roots growing out of your bones and skin. Regardless, in your current predicament, survival chances are lingering in the low 20s. Okay, the survival percentage is starting to get a little bit low, so to avoid dying quite yet, we need to come up with a plan for what happens when one of these things decides to target you. The amount of things that can happen in this universe is insane. Anything from what Harbinge Technologies calls a storm to a trimming infestation. So we need to figure out a sort of contingency plan on what you're supposed to do. And unlike my How to Logically Survive videos, I'm not going to hesitate to say buy the biggest gun that you can afford. I would imagine that certain plans would be aired frequently on TV.
I would.
So I
Jeez,
went ahead
Louise,
and made a
Rigby.
hypothetical informational tape for y'all. So you found your home has a few new.
And yes, I would be buying the biggest gun I could find in this sort of situation. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are finding the biggest gun.
Visitors. What is a homeowner like yourself to do? Step 1. Identify the threat. Figuring out what has become part of your home as soon as possible can make a big difference. And the way to do
Right?
this is
And like, he's only talking about how we should survive this. This is like our life in an analog horror, because we are the civilians. We're not the main characters.
It's differ greatly. So ask yourself this. Have my family members been acting off recently?
I don't talk to them at that point. Nope.
Do you remember living alone in the past?
Why'd I
If any
hear a
of these
beep?
answers are yes, but you're still noticing someone resembling a person in or outside your house. Alternatively, if you notice a small rodent meat creature digging through your trash, it is important to not under any circumstances bring them in and make them your pets, as they are very
Why?
loud and screech all night. Trimming noises are unknown in purpose, but some people believe they may be calling out. Finally, if you notice many unidentifiable lights in the field or sky, you're going to want to immediately find a place to hide, taking advantage of how big these creatures are and hiding in out-of-sight areas. Now, for this last one, the highest survival rate would be hiding in your garage, as the whole vehicle thing I stated earlier would make it so you could just hide where you put your feet, putting clothes and other items over yourself, so if they did manage to look in the windows, they wouldn't be able to see you at all. And to be honest, start praying, because if a swarm specifically targets your house, you're not going to be there much longer. Now, if it wasn't apparent from the tape
swarm?
and the 10% that our survival rate is still at, even in a location like snow or the desert, the life expectancy still would not be very long. And the darkest part of this is, most of the time, your life would not be ended right then and there, as most
End
of
it
the
yourself.
home entertainment entities prefer either infecting you with roots, which God knows how long
Go,
you'll live.
go
at
that way.
in that
Go
case,
that way.
or
Go that
root
way.
crawlers specifically entering you through the
Go.
nose or mouth and using your body to lure
No!
other humans. And if that sounds familiar, the Basswood County humanoids that I've been talking about have very similar behaviors, driving you to insanity until you aren't lucid enough to stop them from tearing you open and crawling inside of your skin. But throughout the series, there are subtle hints that you might still have a form of consciousness while this is happening, as disturbing as that might seem. Vita Carnis seems to be the most merciful of the three, as mimics simply eat your flesh, ending you instantly, assuming that you lose consciousness after the first few tears. And technically, harvesters do paralyze you, so you would only have to watch as you bleed to death, and you technically wouldn't feel it. So overall, the life expectancy depends on what would kill you.
Give me Vita Carnis. Give me Vita Carnis.
Certain things would be in your 20s to 30s, others might let you last until your 40s, or I guess until the iris reaches the earth. Yeah, I kind of forgot to mention that. It is slowly creeping towards us, and the more time goes forward, the more the gardeners, which are basically wood crawlers that live underground, are turning the crust of our planet into roots. And since the series isn't finished, I don't know exactly what that means for us, but my guess is that we as humanity would have about until that's finished. All in all, with these three series put together, it doesn't seem like you would have much life in general. But I wanted to see how they fit together, as a lot of them possess similarities to each other.
Well, that was fun.
We would not survive that.
I'm sad to see you go. But don't worry, this doesn't have to be the last time I see you.
Okay, cool. Oh, let's do the deadliest ones. Oh, wait, I think... Okay, my cats are hungry. Give me a second. I'm gonna go feed them. My husband's asleep, so I have to feed them. Be right back. Da 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 da.
I was forged where the mountains swallow prayer. Winter-fed kingdoms taught to kneel in fear. I have buried queens beneath cathedral stone, built empires from hunger, called ruin my throne. I have tasted loyalty sharpened into knives, watched beautiful monsters masquerading as wise. Every promise borrowed, every crown a debt, and I have never mourned what I chose to forget. Then there you were, laughing visitors dine. Golden candlelight, sapphire eyes divine. Too warm for this world, too reckless to know. You smiled at the wolf like wolves could not bite. Little saint with human blood, do you not hear danger speak? You lean too close to monsters' love, as if monsters kneel for the weak. And God, you do not fear me. You are a beautiful catastrophe. Soft thing dressed in royal jewels. I was older than mercy, older than kindness, older than rules. Yet I watch your laughter linger, like sunlight where winter should reign. Tell me, little princess, why do I remember?
Oh, I probably shouldn't be eating that much either, huh? Because I got to put people in contact later.
One favor
Hold on.
owed, one threat
Oh,
to
look at
hold,
Blue!
and I who conquered kingdoms
Papito!
suddenly cannot let
Sorry, I'm here.
go.
We're back. Sorry about that.
I know the Chancellor watches from shadows, least fury hidden behind ember eyes. Vladimir
Okay.
Tempest, faithful to
chingon.
discipline,
Chingones.
yet starving
Alright.
beneath immaculate love.
Where'd my music go?
He looks at you like war unfinished.
Anyway, so yes. Bro, that... Okay, so guys, how would we feel about living in that type of world? How would we feel? Like, bestie, how would we feel? My besties, my girls. I don't like hearing things. I don't like hearing them. I'm hearing things, and I thought I heard something thud in the background when I was getting the cat food. Ain't gonna lie, I was like, oh no. I'm gonna pretend I don't hear nothing. She said, if I hear someone, I would cry. I know, right? Imagine. Just imagine it. It would suck. Like, imagine, like, Vita Carnis is, like, your least issues. So, least. Hold on. Let me spray my freaking bangs real quick. There. There they at least feel look nice-ish. You know? Yeah, no. Let's drink some water. Bro, should we go into a new analog horror, or should we watch... Let's watch the, should we watch the deadliest ones, or should we watch my first analog horror, or should we watch... Because this is like the Appalachian. The Appalachian Breach. A massive sinkhole opens deep within Appalachia. The water becomes contaminated. Wildlife becomes changing. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful. I don't have my makeup on tonight. Like, no makeup. Like, none. Like, I am super not makeup on. So we can either do that, or we could do the bass one, is what they said. That bass one? What's it called? You are a beautiful catastrophe. I don't wanna hear some knocking, no I don't. 'Cause I don't think... Ooh, the underwater horror of Rapport River. That looks interesting. Well, thank you. Thank you both. I'm trying to learn how to take compliments without my makeup. I love makeup. I don't think... Cat, you gotta stop scaring me. What the hell?
In this video, you learn about the mother that eats her children.
Okay.
From the best mother in the world.
Make your childcare life more convenient.
Okay.
They are teachers, chefs, doctors, and even scientists.
What are they, robots?
Haha, kidding.
What do you mean kidding?
Best Mother protects children in all aspects.
Yes.
Please rest assured that they will
Ew.
supervise the children.
Why is it looking like that?
And study.
Why are you peeking in the door like that?
Educate children to be outstanding.
I know, right?
That kid look.
But make sure your children stay obedient.
Huh?
Why?
Sometimes due to system failure.
What?
They will become nagwon.
In this video, you learn about the mother that eats her children.
Okay. That was a choice. There's a Diddy. There's a Diddy. I'm sorry, it said Diddy. We're watching it. We're watching it. It said Diddy.
Civil authorities have issued an emergency alert for your surrounding area. There has been spottings of a dark black figure with a BBL chasing around kids with a giant.
Did we all hear that? Did we all hear those words? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on that.
Authorities have issued an emergency alert for your surrounding area. There has been spottings of a dark black figure with a BBL chasing around kids with a giant bottle of Diddy oil in his hands. Reports say that once he gets your kids, you will never see them again.
That
creature
is
8 feet tall and has enhanced hearing and also can run up to 67 miles an hour. In order to keep your kids safe, hide within a room of your house with no windows, such as an attic, basement, or closet. If you have no way to shelter, print out a job application and flash the creature with it when he attempts to attack. Stay safe and do not get oiled up.
Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Stay safe and don't get oiled up. That is a whole choice of words. So there's 8 of these. And I do want to watch this, but first let's go through the deadliest analog horrors.
On unnamed road. Then, in 300 feet, turn off.
Oh, girls, did y'all hear what I just heard? Oh! That was... Stay safe and don't get oiled up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. I can't with that. That's a whole. Oh. When you know about the Diddy, you know about the Diddy. Oh, that's an actual true. That's a true crime right there, and I'm here for 8 foot tall and can go 67 miles high, and show him a job application. That'll deter him. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm weak because I'm like, oh. What were you doing? What were you doing, D? Just, just listening out of the context. Oh, that was that was one of those moments where you just go, fill out a job application and then flash it to him. That'll deter him. Stay safe and don't get oiled up. Oh my god, if everyone was just listening to that without watching that, that's one of those moments you're just in there like, oh, Lord forgive me. Lord forgive me. Because that was, they allowed that. Okay, so, oh man. Tomorrow we're getting back into Alien. Were you recording at all? I might end the YouTube stream. I think I will.